Hi there, it's time to look at Filecoin through the Wyckoff lens. And if you're new to my sessions, here are the 3 key items I covered during the session. Let's start with the weekly chart of Filecoin. So, after a very strong week making a sign of strength, we've got 2 other weeks of pretty strong selling, but not as strong as the initial climb over here. This week, we've got I would say a positive sign. One, it's, we still have 2 days left of this candlestick, but currently it's still white, meaning we're still higher than the open. And also, the volume itself has dropped pretty significantly, meaning, it's finally stabilized. Also, the current price point is way higher than the spring period during mid-October. Okay, that was around 1.5. We are roughly 6 to 7% above that point. So let's hope that it continue to stay that way and not come back to challenge the low like it had happened during the beginning of this month. Because if we look to the left, there's basically no reference point for Filecoin. It exhibited a behavior similar to some other altcoins that they have created all-time lows, this accumulation cycle. Alright, so while we expect more tests to continue, the hope is to see another sign of strength. There can be multiple signs of strength during an accumulation cycle. And, until the point where it shows that it stays above that particular sideways trading range, we can't be sure whether there will be more tests to the south side. Alright, so hope is to come up, stay above the the yellow key level, and show us some kind of last point of support, then continue up towards the new distribution cycle. Alright, that's the positive thinking. The natural or likely scenario is for a couple of more sideways trading weeks to come before it actually launches to challenge these key levels. First, the orange 3.15 and then 3.6 in order to show us a pretty strong sign of strength. Okay, so what happens in the daily chart then? I'm putting in my power. So let's move to the daily chart while I'm doing that. The downtrend on Monday finally confirmed over. So I previously shared that a breakout or trend confirmation time point, right? This triangle pointing towards exactly Sunday, Monday time, that the confirmation will come. And indeed, over the past 5 days, including today, it has confirmed that the trend is not going back to this blue box. So that's another positive sign. So also, these 8 days in total, including November 21st, the day we did our last session, the price continues to trade above this intermediate support level at around $1.50. Not saying it's going to not saying it's not going to get lower. There can be. Look at these subsequent tests that shakes out, I believe, quite a number of people before they push the price to the sign of strength in the weekly chart. In the daily, I use more frequent cycles, so that's why you see all these tags. They are not the same as the weekly. So in the weekly, that was a sign of strength, but in here, that was a buying climax. So that's how it works. Remember, Wyckoff wasn't designed for things like this in a daily time frame. But it's fun. Try to plug it in and see what's going on. Alright? So that's what we are expecting is the same. Coming up for or show us a sign of strength. That's to test the 1.95, 1.96 level. The previous period was pretty much around 1.74. Okay, so there is another line over here, shorter line, resistant line. Let's borrow it, bring it over. You see where the previous automatic rally sign of strength was, right? So that's where we, or the current automatic rally that happened on Tuesday touched on. The sideways trading may continue for a couple more days, coming back down to show us second test, but the goal is to go past this line of 1.75 roughly to show us additional sign of strengths. Okay, so I would say pretty positive as of this moment. Assuming no more bad news is going to come out, then I believe Filecoin and a couple of other altcoins are going to trade sideways for a while for people to accumulate, maybe the big whales or small fishes, and then eventually we'll see more sign of strength, and then last point of support, and eventually the new distribution cycle. Whether the new distribution cycle is going to get to buying climax, same as the previous cycles, that's a big unknown, because in my view, if more new projects come out because of the supportive environment now, existing projects, it's going to get a lot more challenge, and the capital may be spread across to different altcoins. Even though if even if institutions are going to come in, they are going to, my guess is they're going to get into the bigger ones, which has a lot more support and a bigger community, a lot more activities and business adoption. The other projects, depending on which, I'm trying to term this right, actually what they are tied to, like what kind of business, what kind of brand, is there a big VC behind those projects? Those are keys. So dig into the project you like and find out what they are connected to. That's the way you identify your gold mine. So let's get through this crypto winter, let's put it this way. We're not as bad as, well, the price is probably worse than 2002, 2003. But I guess, or at least I hope, we don't have to wait for that long for the next buying climax or distribution cycle to happen.